Dear Santa is a story about a kid who writes a letter to Santa, but he misspells it and instead it goes to Satan. Jack Black, who plays Satan, gets the letter and he's like, holy shit, I haven't gotten a letter from a kid in 1,000 years. And he shows up at the kid's house and it goes from there.
Yeah.
I tried everything. That kid's incorruptible.
What about doing something out of kindness?
I don't even know what you just said. I mean, I know all the words, but I just never heard them in that order.
We love the idea. You know, somebody had come to us, Kevin Barnett, Pete Jones, came and threw that concept by us, and we thought that's a funny movie. You know,
Yeah.
Pulling it off is so we love the idea. Pulling it off was going to be the tough part, and we worked on the script on and off for 10 years, and finally, Pete and another writer, Ricky Blitt, finally got this draft that we loved. And
Yeah.
they said, let's go make a Christmas movie.
It's the easiest pitch of all time. It's like Snakes on a Plane. You know, kid writes a letter to Santa, but misspells goes to Satan. We said, we're in. Let's do it. And then you realize it's a fine line. You know, you have a Satan. Like, if you don't have Jack Black playing Satan, then it's really difficult.
You ain't never had a friend like me. Okay, that I may have stolen from Aladdin. Now we're even.
We wanted it to be heartwarming, but funny, edgy. We are extremely collaborative because when we made Dumb and Dumber, we had never been to film school. We had never made a commercial. We never made a short film. We had nothing. So we don't know anything about lenses, lighting, this, that. So we trusted the director of photography, the first AD, the makeup, hair. We have to trust them because we didn't know what to do. And we've always done that. And it is a team effort, to say the least.
This next question is going to sound weird at the beginning, but bear with me. There's an element of Satan that feels tapped into your brand of comedy. When Jack Black's Satan is telling Liam about how to act in the world, don't care about what people think, be an honest observer of the human condition, rip a juicy one. There's an unapologetic honesty in your movies that I've always found inspiring when approaching comedy. Where did that come from, and why do you find, if I'm correct, find that important in comedy?
Well, first of all, that's really funny. That that's interesting because that is kind of what we.
Once he said rip a juicy one, I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, we do.
of course, that's us.
That is our mantra.
We were not bashful. We started writing in the 80s and we made movies starting in the 90s. During the 80s was a soft period for comedy. The hardest thing out there was John Hughes, and those were great movies, but they weren't edgy. And we thought our natural inclination was to push it. So
Yeah.
it's just what makes us laugh.
True, yeah. We like to push it, but not to the point where it becomes dark or it's like we went too far. We've always wanted to have a certain sweetness to it and a nice message, that kind of thing, but pushing it along the way as far as we can. There is in this comedy of ours a real backstory too that's very dramatic. So it's kind of one of those things that we like to have in our movies where it's a blend of some drama and with a lot of comedy along the way. And hopefully they come together in a way that's, there's a sweetness and a good message.